next 5 years, Brazil's consumption of personal care and beauty products will outpace developed markets, including the United States. Brazil is now set to overtake Japan as the world's #2 beauty market. Michelle McCory has more.
Brazil isn't just about samba, soccer, and sun-kissed beaches. It's a land of jaw-dropping contrasts, wild surprises, and yes, some of the most stunning women you'll ever see. But behind the party lights and perfect bodies, there's a side of Brazil most people never talk about. How dangerous is it to walk the streets alone? Why are certain Brazilian beauty standards so extreme? And what secrets are hidden behind the smiles and carnival masks? Today, we're diving into 20 shocking truths about Brazil that will completely flip your idea of this country. From strange laws to unbelievable cultural norms. From sensual energy to raw, unpredictable chaos. This is the Brazil you won't see on Instagram. Stick around till the end, because the last few might just leave you speechless. Welcome to Brazil, where beauty meets biodiversity. Welcome to Brazil, a country so massive, so wild, and so vibrant, it might as well be its own continent. Stretching over 8.5 million square kilometers, Brazil touches nearly every ecosystem on the map. Tropical rainforests, deserts, savannas, wetlands, highlands, and 7,500 kilometers of Atlantic coastline. It borders 10 other nations and practically takes up half of South America. But Brazil isn't just big, it's bursting with life. Over 60% of the Amazon rainforest lies within its borders, along with the Pantanal, the world's largest tropical wetland. Brazil holds more biodiversity than any other country on Earth, housing over 10% of all known plant and animal species. Jaguars, toucans, piranhas, sloths, you name it, Brazil has it. And let's be honest, Brazil is also famous for its people, especially its women. Known worldwide for their beauty, charisma, and confidence, Brazilian women are as celebrated as the landscapes they come from. So what's the secret? Get ready. We're diving into a blend of genetics, culture, and undeniable presence. Brazil's nature might blow your mind, but its people will steal your heart, especially the women. Universally admired, endlessly fascinating, and radiating an effortless kind of beauty. But where does it come from? Let's break down what makes Brazilian women so captivating, from their roots to their rhythms. Spoiler, it's a lot more than just heroics. The beauty of Brazilian women. What makes them so irresistible? There's no one way to describe Brazilian beauty because it comes in every shape, color, and style. Brazilian women are the result of centuries of cultural fusion. African, indigenous, European, Middle Eastern, and Asian ancestry blend to create a population that's as diverse as it is stunning. It's genetic magic, but it's also about attitude. Confidence runs deep in Brazilian culture. Women here are expressive, fashion-forward, and proud of their appearance. Not out of vanity, but out of cultural pride. You'll find women walking tall in bold prints, showing skin with confidence, and dancing like no one's watching, even if everyone is. It's not just about beauty, it's about energy, a kind of magnetic self-assurance that says, I know who I am. From samba dancers in Rio to surfers in Bahia, Brazilian women represent a lifestyle that's unapologetically joyful. They embrace curves, color, and charisma. They move like the music never stops. And often it doesn't. That blend of natural beauty, self-expression, and cultural rhythm is what makes them unforgettable. No wonder the world keeps watching. But beauty here isn't just skin deep, it's rooted in the earth itself. And nothing represents Brazil's wild, untamed heart like the Amazon rainforest. Next, we'll venture into the green lungs of the planet, where the air hums with life. The rivers are endless, and the stakes couldn't be higher for our planet's future. The Amazon, Earth's green superpower. Covering nearly 60% of Brazil, the Amazon rainforest is one of the most powerful natural forces on Earth. It's a living, breathing supersystem, home to over 10% of all species and more than 400 indigenous tribes. Trees here generate clouds, rivers flow through cities of fish, and every leaf and root holds ancient knowledge, including thousands of medicinal plants. The Amazon acts like the planet's air conditioner, pulling carbon from the atmosphere and regulating global climate. But this green wonder is under constant threat. Deforestation, illegal gold mining, and land clearing for cattle farming are carving deep scars into this vital biome. The balance is delicate, and Brazil sits at the center of the equation. Yet the Amazon remains a realm of raw awe. Pink dolphins leap through river currents. Jaguars roam beneath canopies. Shamans still practice plant medicine passed down through generations. The rainforest doesn't just belong to Brazil, it belongs to all of us. and protecting it is the ultimate act of beauty and responsibility. Now, shift gears from the calm of the forest to pure chaos in the best way possible. Welcome to Carnival, Brazil's loudest, wildest, most unforgettable celebration. It's not just a party, it's a cultural explosion that takes over cities, hearts, and entire calendars. Let's step into the sequins, samba, and sacred rhythm of Carnival. Carnival, the world's most epic party. If there's one word the world associates with Brazil, it's Carnival. Every year, 40 days before Easter, this week-long festival erupts in color, sound, and soul. In cities like Rio, Salvador, and Recife, millions pour into the streets for non-stop samba, parades, costumes, and glitter. It's not just an event, it's a national heartbeat. At the center are the samba schools, local community groups that spend all year crafting jaw-dropping floats, dance routines, and costumes adorned with feathers, sequins, and imagination gone wild. These aren't just performances, they're competitions, blending music, choreography, storytelling, and sheer spectacle. The energy is electric, and every beat echoes centuries of cultural history. But Carnival is more than feathers and flair. It's deeply rooted in Afro-Brazilian traditions, Catholic festivals, and community pride. It's a celebration of identity, freedom, and unity. A place where everyone, from locals to tourists, is invited to lose themselves in joy. Once you've felt Carnival in your chest, you'll never forget it. From the rhythm of samba to the roar of the crowd, Brazil's passion doesn't stop after Carnival. It just shifts into another religion entirely: football. Forget churches. On match day, the stadium is the cathedral, the pitch is sacred, and the people, absolutely devoted. Let's explore the game that moves a nation. Football likes to watch as religion. In Brazil, football isn't a sport, it's a way of life. From crowded city streets to sandy beaches and hilltop favelas, kids grow up with a ball at their feet. The country has won the FIFA World Cup 5 times more than any other nation, and produced legends like Pelé, Zico, Ronaldinho, and Neymar. These aren't just players, they're heroes. On game day, Brazil shuts down. Shops close, traffic clears, and all eyes turn to the screen. People gather around radios, televisions, or in packed stadiums like the legendary Maracanã. The mood of the nation rises and falls with every goal, pass, and whistle. It's not an exaggeration to say football defines the national mood. But more than trophies and talent, football here is about unity. It crosses class, race, and geography. It's the great equalizer, the language every Brazilian speaks fluently. To understand Brazil, you must understand its game. Because for many, football isn't just 90 minutes. It's life, identity, and legacy rolled into one. So you've seen the beauty, the jungle, the parties, and the pitch. But why are so many men drawn to Brazil? It's not just the beaches. Up next, we'll break down the real reasons men travel here. From legendary nightlife to the magnetic culture of romance, rhythm, and real human connection. Why men travel to Brazil? More than just the beaches. Let's get real. Brazil has a certain pull, and it's not just because of the palm-lined beaches. Men from all over the world flock here for the energy, a combination of beauty, hospitality, sensuality, and adventure that's nearly impossible to find anywhere else. Brazil is alive, and it makes you feel alive too. Yes, Brazilian women are a big part of the draw, confident, charismatic, and culturally expressive. They exude a natural charm that's hard to ignore. But it's not just about looks, it's the social vibe. Strangers become friends over music, eye contact carries weight, and flirtation is a national sport. Brazil has perfected the art of connection. And beyond the romance, the country offers incredible value. From affordable travel and jaw-dropping natural scenery to legendary nightlife in places like Lapa, Sao Paulo, and Salvador, there's no shortage of ways to explore. Whether it's dancing till sunrise or soaking in a beach sunset, Brazil gives you the freedom to feel, explore, and connect on a deeper, more human level. Now that we've talked about connection, let's dive into the language that makes it all flow. Brazilian Portuguese isn't just a means of communication. It's a melody, a rhythm, a flirtatious dance. Up next, we explore the language of seduction and why just hearing it spoken might make you fall in love with Brazil all over again. The language of seduction, Brazilian Portuguese. Portuguese may be Brazil's official language, but what's spoken here is a music of its own. Brazilian Portuguese is softer, more melodic, and filled with expressive gestures and warm intonations. It's often described as the most romantic sounding. Language in the world, playful, poetic, and irresistibly musical. Unlike European Portuguese, which can sound a bit clipped or formal, Brazilian Portuguese flows. The sounds stretch and sway like samba itself. Influenced by African, indigenous, and immigrant languages, it's evolved into something unique, full of slang, body language, and cultural rhythm. Even basic greetings feel like an invitation to connect. Want to charm a local? Learn a few key phrases. Oi, tudo bem? Hey, all good? Goes a long way. Saudade has no real English equivalent. It means a deep, nostalgic longing. And of course, the word amor, love, is never far away. In Brazil, language isn't just spoken, it's felt. Language is powerful, but in Brazil, culture dances louder than words. Much of that comes from its African roots, shaped by centuries of resilience, rhythm, and resistance. Let's explore the soul of Brazil, where deities wear white, music heals, and movement becomes both fight and freedom. Welcome to Brazil's powerful Afro heritage. Brazil's Afro roots, culture born in resistance. Brazil is home to the largest population of African descent outside Africa, and this Afro-Brazilian heritage is woven into the country's soul. From spirituality to music to martial arts, the contributions of African culture are not just historical. They're living, breathing forces that shape daily life in profound and vibrant ways. Spiritual traditions like Candomblé and Umbanda mix African deities with Catholic saints, creating powerful faith systems centered around nature, ancestors, and energy. You'll see followers dressed in all white, drums echoing in ritual ceremonies, offering flowers to the sea in honor of the goddess Iemanjá. These traditions are sacred, resilient, and uniquely Brazilian. And then there's capoeira, a mesmerizing mix of martial arts, dance, acrobatics, and music. Developed by enslaved Africans as a form of disguised resistance, today it's a symbol of pride and liberation. Add in samba, feijoada, and carnival itself, and it's clear. Afro-Brazilian culture is the heartbeat of the nation. From ancient roots to futuristic dreams, Brazil doesn't just dwell in the past, it dares to reimagine the future too. Next up, we visit a city that looks like it landed from outer space, built in record time to lead a nation forward. Welcome to Brasilia, a bold experiment in architecture and ambition. Cities of the future, Brasilia and beyond. Imagine a city drawn like a bird, built from scratch in the middle of nowhere, and designed to be the capital of the future. That's Brasilia, constructed in just 41 months in the late 1950s. It's not just a city, it's a modernist masterpiece, and a testament to Brazil's ambition and creativity. At the heart of it is architect Oscar Niemeyer, who dreamed up sci-fi-like structures with sweeping curves, white domes, and cathedral spires that pierce the sky. Brasilia is symmetrical, surreal, and structured with wide-open spaces that feel more like art installation than city grid. Even the streets are numbered, not named. While Brasilia stuns with its sleek, futuristic aesthetic, other cities like Sao Paulo and Belo Horizonte blend colonial roots with urban energy. Brazil's cities don't all look alike, but they're all alive with art, music, and cultural mashups that reflect the country's diverse identity. It's past, present, and future all at once. Modern architecture aside, nothing towers in Brazil, figuratively or literally, quite like Christ the Redeemer. It's more than a statue, it's a national icon, a symbol of faith, and one of the most photographed places on earth. Let's head to Rio's most famous peak and meet the open-armed guardian of Brazil's soul. The icon of icons, Christ the Redeemer. With arms spread wide over the city of Rio de Janeiro, the towering Christ the Redeemer statue is one of the most recognizable symbols in the world. Standing 98 feet tall atop Corcovado Mountain, it's both a spiritual beacon and a jaw-dropping engineering feat. Built in the 1930s and named one of the new 7 wonders of the world, the statue represents faith, unity, and openness. It's not just a Christian symbol, it's a national one. Locals and visitors alike climb up by train or hike through Tijuca Forest to reach its base, where views stretch across Rio's beaches, favelas, and Sugarloaf Peaks. But Christ the Redeemer is more than a photo op. For Brazilians, it's a protector, arms open to all, no matter their background. It's a powerful reminder that Brazil embraces difference and finds beauty in unity. Whether seen at sunrise or glowing at night, it leaves a lasting impression. From sky-high statues to sizzling stews, Brazil always delivers with flavor. And when it comes to food, get ready for the boldest, richest, most satisfying. dishes you've ever had. Up next, we're diving into Brazil's flavor explosion, where every bite tells a story and every meal is a celebration. Food you'll dream about. Brazil's flavor explosion. Get ready to eat your heart out, because Brazilian cuisine is a full sensory journey. Rich, soulful, spicy, and satisfying. It blends African, indigenous, Portuguese, and immigrant influences into dishes that feel like warm hugs or fiery fiestas. At the top of the list, feijoada, a black bean stew slow-cooked with pork and beef, traditionally served with rice, farofa, and orange slices. Then there's the sweet side. Brigadeiro is Brazil's beloved chocolate truffle, simple, gooey, and impossible to eat just one. At every birthday party, wedding, or beach picnic, you'll find them proudly displayed and instantly devoured. And don't miss pão de queijo, crispy, cheesy, gluten-free bread rolls that are pure comfort food. But the real fun begins regionally. Head to Bahia for moqueca, a spicy seafood stew simmered with coconut milk and dendê oil. Visit the south for churrasco, Brazil's legendary BBQ tradition. Or try tapioca crepes in the northeast, filled with everything from cheese to chocolate. Every region serves a different story, and Brazil tells them all through food that's made to be shared. Still hungry? Good, because now we're stepping into the wild. Brazil's cuisine reflects its biodiversity, but the real showstoppers are out there, living, flying, roaring, and slithering through rivers, jungles, and wetlands. Next up, the wild side of Brazil, where jaguars, macaws, and piranhas rule the land, sky, and water. Wild Brazil, where jaguars, macaws, and piranhas roam. Welcome to the wildest corner of Earth. Brazil is home to more animal species than any other country, period. From the deepest rivers to the highest trees, the country bursts with life. Colorful, strange, loud, and often invisible until it surprises you. Want to spot a jaguar in the wild? There's a place for that. That place is the Pantanal. Oh, the world's largest tropical wetland and Brazil's best-kept wildlife secret. It's not as dense as the Amazon, making it easier to see giant river otters, tapirs, howler monkeys, and the elusive jaguar, often lounging by riverbanks like a boss. The skies? Painted with scarlet macaws, toucans, and harpy eagles. Don't forget the water. Piranhas lurk in rivers, pink dolphins surface in the Amazon, and massive anacondas glide silently through swamp channels. Brazil is nature turned up to 11, and it's not just about animals, it's about awe. Being in wild Brazil is like watching the planet breathe in its purest form. From raw wilderness to high fashion, Brazil is full of contrasts. And when it comes to beauty and fame, this country dominates the global stage. Next, let's meet the Brazilian women who became supermodels, icons, and fashion powerhouses, redefining beauty and grace with every step down the runway. Brazilian women in fashion and fame. Brazil doesn't just admire beauty, it exports it to the world stage. Enter the icons. Gisele Bündchen, Adriana Lima, Alessandra Ambrosio, names that became synonymous with international glamour. These women didn't just walk runways, they dominated them, putting Brazilian style, strength, and confidence on the global map. But the fashion scene isn't just about fame. Brazil has a deep modeling industry that scouts talent in the most unexpected places, from rural towns to favelas. Agencies search for authenticity, charisma, and unique features that reflect the country's cultural mix. It's not just about perfect symmetry, it's about energy and presence. And Brazilian women bring that in spades. Fashion here isn't just about clothing, it's about self-expression. From the beaches of Ipanema to Sao Paulo Fashion Week, style is loud, proud, and personal. The country's beauty standards embrace curves, confidence, and natural flair. It's not about fitting in, it's about owning who you are. Speaking of owning who you are, Brazil's music doesn't whisper. It shouts, sways, and sings its way through every corner of life. Next up, we tune into the heartbeat of the country. From samba drums to late-night DJ sets, Brazilian music doesn't just move your hips, it moves your soul. Music that moves your soul and your hips. In Brazil, music is life, and it's everywhere. In the streets, on the beach, in markets and metros, the sounds of samba, bossa nova, forró, funk, karaoke, and more create a living soundtrack to daily life. Each genre carries a history, a region, a mood, and together, they form the soul of the nation. Samba is the beating heart. Born in Afro-Brazilian communities, it's now a national treasure. With its syncopated rhythms and infectious joy, Samba powers carnival, street parades, and Sunday backyard parties. Then there's bossa nova, soft, romantic, poetic. It's the sound of a slow sunset and a whispered conversation in a beachside cafe. Newer genres like funk karaoke, rising from the favelas of Rio, bring raw energy and bold lyricism to clubs and parties across the country. Music here is more than entertainment. It's identity, resistance, and celebration all rolled into one. In Brazil, if you're not dancing, you're not doing it right. And just when you think Brazil can't get more vibrant, it takes you back to the streets, where life unfolds like art. Up next, we explore the everyday magic found in graffiti-covered alleys, open-air markets, and spontaneous samba circles. In Brazil, the streets are where culture breathes and everyday life becomes performance. The street life, art, markets, and everyday magic. In Brazil, the streets aren't just roads. They're living canvases, musical stages, and cultural playgrounds. Walk through neighborhoods like Beco do Batman in São Paulo, and you'll see world-class street art exploding in color and creativity. Murals are not vandalism here. They're expression, protest, and pride. Head to an open-air market like Vero Peso in Belém or Mercado Municipal in São Paulo, and your senses will go wild. The smell of grilled meats, the chatter of fruit sellers, the shimmer of artisan crafts. It's a feast in every sense of the word. These markets are where Brazil's diversity hits you face first. Street life here isn't just visible, it's interactive. Kids play football in alleyways, drummers build spontaneous samba circles, and pop-up performances turn a Tuesday afternoon into a celebration. It's unpredictable, it's real, and it's full of joy. In Brazil, you don't need a ticket for a good time. Just step outside. From street parties to sacred history, Brazil holds stories both joyful and painful. Our next stop reveals the country's deep roots in the transatlantic slave trade and how Afro-Brazilian culture rose in resistance to shape the vibrant nation we know today. Let's honor the past before we dance into the future. Deep history, dark truths. The slave trade and resistance behind Brazil's beauty lies a history that's profound, painful, and essential to remember. Brazil imported more enslaved Africans than any other country, over 4 million people, more than 10 times the number brought to the US. The echoes of this legacy still shape the nation's soul, culture, and consciousness today. In Rio de Janeiro, the Valongo Wharf, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is where countless enslaved Africans first set foot in the Americas. Though buried for centuries, it was uncovered during a construction project in the early 2000s, revealing a site of global historical importance. It's a place of mourning and remembrance, but also one of resilience. Out of this dark chapter came Afro-Brazilian cultural powerhouses: samba, capoeira, candomblé, feijoada, and much of the rhythm and energy that defines Brazil. Communities across the country, especially in Salvador, continue to honor their African ancestry with pride, turning struggle into strength, memory into music, and pain into power. From heavy truths to high-energy expression, Brazil has always turned pain into movement. And nowhere is that more true than in its national passion: dance. Whether in the favelas, in carnival, or on quiet street corners, Brazilians don't just dance, they live through it. Let's move into the heart-pounding, foot-stomping world of Brazilian dance culture. Dance isn't a hobby, it's a way of life. In Brazil, dance is everything. A way to celebrate, protest, flirt, express, and simply be. From the joyful chaos of samba to the acrobatic flair of frevo, every region has its rhythm, its history, and its heartbeat. You don't just learn to dance here, you grow up moving to the music around you. Samba, born in the Afro-Brazilian communities of Bahia and Rio, is the national dance and the pulse of carnival. It's not choreographed, it's felt. Then there's frevo, with its impossible footwork and tiny umbrellas, emerging from Recife and Olinda's carnival streets. Add maracatu, carimbo, and more, and you realize every step tells a story. Brazilians dance at weddings, in bars, in protests, in celebrations. There's no right time to dance. Every moment is the right time. Even on a random Wednesday night, a plaza might fill with movement, laughter, and song. To dance in Brazil is to say, I am here and I am alive. But Brazil's magic isn't only found in the movement of its people, it's hiding in its landscapes too. And we're not just talking about the Amazon. From lunar-like deserts to crystal-clear rivers, Brazil is full of otherworldly hidden gems. Next up, the surreal natural wonders you probably haven't heard of, but will never forget: nature's hidden gems. not just the Amazon. Sure, the Amazon gets the spotlight, but Brazil's got a whole world of nature that looks like it belongs on another planet. Take Lençóis Maranhenses, for example, a stretch of rolling white sand dunes filled with rainwater lagoons that appear every year like a mirage. It's a desert with lakes, and yes, it's real. Then there's Bonito, in the state of Mato Grosso do Sul, a paradise for divers and snorkelers. Here, crystal-clear rivers flow over limestone beds, creating visibility that feels like flying underwater. Swim alongside fish in Rio da Prata, or dive into Gruta do Lago Azul, a sapphire blue cavern that feels like an underwater cathedral. Don't miss Chapada Diamantina either. With towering table mountains, waterfall-fed caves, and sweeping vistas, it's a hiker's dream and photographer's fantasy. Brazil's wild beauty goes far beyond the rainforest. It's epic, untamed, and endlessly surprising. Nature didn't hold back when it made this place. After all that adventure, let's slow things down and tune into Brazil's most irresistible rhythm: romance. In this culture, love isn't reserved for candlelight dinners. It's in the dance, the glance, the beachside kiss. Up next, why public displays of affection are the norm, and how Brazil makes falling in love feel like a national pastime. Love in public, Brazil's romantic culture. In Brazil, romance isn't hidden, it's celebrated. Whether you're in a nightclub, at the beach, or strolling through a city plaza, you'll likely see couples holding hands, embracing, or even kissing in full view. It's not scandalous, it's cultural. Love is part of life, and it's expressed openly, joyfully, and often spontaneously. This attitude extends beyond couples. There is a general warmth and openness that shapes all social interactions. People hug when they meet, they dance close, they look you in the eye. And yes, flirting is basically a national language. Whether romantic or platonic, connection is immediate, expressive, and genuine. For many travelers, it's this openness that makes Brazil unforgettable. The passion for music, dance, and social life naturally spills over into how people fall in love with each other, with the culture, and with life itself. In Brazil, affection isn't reserved, it's shared. And once you experience it, you'll want to stay a while. Now that your heart is full and your passport's ready, let's wrap up with the essentials. Brazil is big, bold, and bursting with possibility. But when should you go? Where should you start? And what should you expect? Up next, everything you need to know before landing in the land of rhythm, beauty, and biodiversity. Visiting Brazil. What you need to know planning a trip to Brazil. First tip, bring curiosity, sunscreen, and dancing shoes. The best time to visit depends on what you want. For carnival madness, aim for February or early March. For drier, cooler weather, perfect for sightseeing, visit May to September. Keep in mind, Brazil has multiple climates from tropical to temperate. City or nature? Why not both? Explore Rio de Janeiro's beach to mountain contrast, then fly to the Amazon or Pantanal for wild adventures. Or head south to Florianópolis for surfing and seafood. Brazil is basically several countries in one, and each region has its own vibe, flavor, and tempo. Oh, and learn a bit of Portuguese. Locals love when you try. Obrigado, thank you, and por favor, please, go a long way. Brazil can feel chaotic at times, but it rewards travelers with a sense of freedom, beauty, and connection you won't find anywhere else. Just go with your heart wide open. So what just happened? You've time traveled through futuristic cities, danced through centuries of Afro-Brazilian culture, stared down jaguars, and probably blushed a little while learning about Brazil's bold romantic energy. This country doesn't hold back, and neither do its people. That's what makes it unforgettable. Brazil isn't just beautiful, it's wildly alive. A land where nature roars, cities sing, and the people bring passion to everything from football to flirting. Whether it's the woman in Rio dancing to a beat only she can hear, or the shaman in the Amazon guiding healing through plants older than empires, Brazil pulses with energy you can't fake. And yeah, it might just be the country with the most hot, confident, unapologetically radiant women on earth, but it's also a place of depth, contradiction, and raw soul. So pack your bags, your sunscreen, and an open mind, because once you step into Brazil, you'll never look at life the same way again. Ready to be shocked in person?